Welcome to the Steve Ames Show with guitarist Sandy Renda, pianist Mike Yanuzzi, and my special guests, comedian IRWIN Corey, musician Richard Corey, and entertainer SPATZ Donovan. And now, on with the show! She's the daughter of Rosie O'Grady, a regular old-fashioned girl. She isn't crazy for diamond rings, silkens and satins and fancy things. She's just a sweet little lady, and when you meet her you'll see why I'm glad I caught her, the daughter of Rosie O'Grady. She's the daughter of Rosie O'Grady, a regular old-fashioned girl. She isn't crazy for diamond rings, silkens and satins and fancy things. She's just a sweet little lady, and when you meet her you'll see why I'm glad I caught her, the daughter of Rosie O'Grady. She's the daughter of Rosie O'Grady, a great tune popularized in vaudeville by the famous tap dancer Pat Rooney. And here we are outdoors at the Park Place Pool in Springfield, New Jersey. Let's hear it for the Park Place Pool. With the two mighty summertime musicians at the guitar, Sandy Renda. And at the keyboard, Mike Yanuzzi. We're opening our show tonight with a lot of our favorite Irish songs. We sang about the daughter of Rosie O'Grady, so let's give equal time to Peg of My Heart. Peg of my heart, I love you, don't let us part. I love you, I always knew it would be you. Since I heard your lilting laughter, it's your Irish heart I'm after, Peg of my heart. Your glances make my heart say, how's chances, come be my own, come make your home in my heart. Peg of my heart, your glances make my heart say, how's chances, come be my own, come make your home in my heart. Well, Sandy and Mike, welcome back to Park Place Pool in Springfield, New Jersey. We've been taping here every summer since 2009, and I want to thank Mark Stanzial for making tonight's taping possible. And Sandy, on this very hot summer day, what do you have for us?
Some hot Latin music. This one's called The Boulevard of Broken Dreams with Flamenco.
Very nice. Let's hear it for Sandy and Mike. actor, comedian, and Professor IRWIN Corey is known as the world's foremost authority. Right now, here is part 2 of my recent interview with IRWIN Corey, taped in New York City at his home. Joining in on the fun are IRWIN's son, Richard Corey, and our good friend, SPATZ Donavan. And, of course, nightclubs played a tremendous part in your career. You can't forget all the nightclubs you played.
I played the Copacabana in 1947, 48, and 49. The reason I got the job in 1947 was Joey Lewis, who was Jewish, refused to work on Yom Kippur. And he recommended me, and I didn't give a kippah for anything. And I worked on the show.
Joey Lewis, one of the great nightclub comedians. You also knew Jimmy Durante, right? You knew Jimmy.
Jimmy Durante followed me at the Palladium in London.
So you did your act, and then when you moved out, Jimmy Durante came in.
Yeah.
That's
I'm way to find. Way to find.
1952.
1952.
Wow.
That really is amazing. Also, you made some recordings, some albums, record albums. You did several of those.
I made, I feel more like I do now than when I first got here. And, yeah, I did about 4 or 5 albums.
And then you did one where you ran for president. IRWIN Corey for president?
Yes.
Oh, that was great.
Win with Irwin.
Win with Irwin, that's right. And did that have something to do with you, Hefner?
That was done by the Playboy Club.
Oh, so they produced it.
Victor Lowndes produced it.
Right. Okay, that's very good. So did you appear at the Playboy Mansion ever?
I played he had 17 clubs. I played in all of them.
All of the Playboy clubs you played in?
Florida. In fact, the guy in Florida didn't like me, the manager, and he wrote to the home office, to Skippy. He says, Corey is calling Hugh Hefner a latent heterosexual. He's calling him a fag. So Skippy says, my God, hadn't you changed his material yet?
Now, IRWIN, we've talked about television and Broadway and the movies and the nightclubs. You also worked on radio during the golden age of radio in the 1940s.
Oh, yes, I worked on radio. In fact, I did his radio show, and just 2 minutes before we went on, they came over to me and said, we changed the formula, we can't use you. I was blacklisted.
What show was that? Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember. It was a guy who had initials. I just don't remember the name.
Oh, I see. But you did appear on the Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy radio show.
Yes, I was on that show because Frank Fay, who was in a play called Harvey, refused to go to California. So they looked around for a replacement, and they found me playing at the Rue Bleu, which is now defunct. They tore it down and put up a hotel there. And the owner of the club was Tony Maley, and he was considered at that time one of the 10 best dressed men in America. And when Pops Whitaker, who was the critic for the New Yorker magazine, before the old one, the new one came in, and he went to Maley, he says, how do you like this fella? And Pops Whitaker says, he's marvelous, you ought to hire him. He says, yeah, I got him for 12 weeks. But opening night, look at that suit he's wearing.
So anyway, when you did the Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy radio show, that was in Hollywood?
Yes.
And did you do more than one episode of Edgar Bergen and Charlie?
I did about 4 or 5 of them.
That's right, and I believe you played a school teacher who was teaching Charlie something, right?
I was Charlie's tutor.
Charlie's tutor.
Over again.
Yeah.
Over again.
So what was that like working with the great Edgar Bergen, the ventriloquist, and Charlie McCarthy, the dummy? What was that like?
Charlie McCarthy was a dummy. Didn't understand a word I was saying.
Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, with Ray Noble and his orchestra, Joan Merrill, Professor IRWIN Corey.
Oh, Professor Corey.
Oh, good evening. You know, I've been working on Master Charlie's lesson on medieval history.
Oh, well, that's well and good. But how about the world of tomorrow?
Why, just the other day, a young lady stopped me in the street and said, Professor, what about tomorrow? Unfortunately, I had a previous engagement.
Right. Now, I believe that those radio
He broke every
shows
knot in his body, right?
were done in front of a live audience at the time.
Yes.
So that must have been a lot of fun, doing a radio show in front of a live audience.
Listen, I worked with a lot of people. I worked with, she just passed away recently. She was married to Leslie Addy, and she was
Celeste
in Oklahoma.
Holmes. Celeste Holmes.
Celeste Holmes.
You work with Celeste Holmes.
Yeah.
You work with so many wonderful people. On the stage, I believe you worked with Helen Hayes.
And Mrs. McThing with Ernest Borgnine.
And Frank and Fred Gwynn.
Freddie Gwynn and Julie Munchin.
That's amazing.
And a guy called Brandon DeWilde, whose father was my company commander in the Army.
What a small world. And then you were in New Faces of 1943 on Broadway. Yeah. And there were some good people in that show, too.
That was a big hit.
Yes, that's amazing. So
when I went to London at the time. No, in '43 I was called in the Army, and the fellow that took my part was Bernie West.
Very good.
He just passed away recently.
I did not know
that.
He
used to be a writer for All in the Family.
I did not know that. Jean Stapleton
just passed away.
Yes.
She was 90 years old.
We know that.
Very, very talented person.
Oh, Archie.
Very good. Irwin, there's a new book out called Respecting My Elders. Portraits by Ellen Wallenstein, Age and the Creative Spirit. And you're in the book. There's a beautiful picture of you in this book. So it's amazing, Irwin, that at the age of 98, going on 99, you're in a new book. You've got a documentary that's being seen all over the country. You're getting bigger exposure than ever. I think that's terrific. So what is your philosophy of life that you'd like to tell the folks out there?
Well, I really haven't got a philosophy on life. I just am amazing that life is really the miracle, as I said in the beginning. It's a combination of all chemicals put together in such a way that nature has made it possible to make animals, to make trees. I think trees are nothing but mutations from the atomic bombs or the explosion of the Big Bang Theory that mutilated all these. The flowers became tremendous. The trees were probably little bushes. Like I always say, Moses was on Mount Sinai, and he says, "Here we'll build a hospital." And there was the burning bush, and the burning bush. You know, even in those days, the Jews had trouble with bushes. There was a burning bush, and the burning bush said to Moses, "Moses, go down to the land of Egypt and free my people." And Moses looked at the bush and said, "A bush can't talk." Little did Moses realize that was a marijuana bush.
Oh, my God. SPATZ,
oh God!
You have a gift for the professor.
I do.
Why don't you present it now?
A gift for a gift to the greatest beat, the king of the beat comedians. This is the Greenwich Village Beat, Mr. Professor Irwin Corey, and we have all his comrades here. You know, this is the Hall of Fame, and of course it's called Juggling Heads.
Juggling Heads.
And there we got Lenny Bruce, your good friend.
Yeah.
Who was another comedian who was a beat from that generation. And your good friend Dick Gregory.
Yeah.
You know, you have.
I got him his first job.
You did? Dick Gregory? Oh boy. And he's a profound revelations and great comedian like yourself. And look, your old friend Lord Buckley.
Yes.
He's probably one of the great kings of the beats, right? For comedy, from that genre. Yeah. And Richard Pryor,
Who's this?
And this is Brother Theodore.
Oh, yes, I know him.
Yeah.
I knew him. He passed away, too.
Yeah. See, you're juggling all their heads.
Well, Spatz, why did
It's
you
called
tell everybody?
Juggling Heads, Professor Irwin Corey.
Tell everybody who the artist is on that.
Oh, that's me.
Spatz drew the characters.
I did this for you out of my love and my heart for all the memories we've had throughout the years and my friendship to you and your family. And I gave your sons a copy as well. And this is for you.
Thank you.
Isn't that nice? Let's hear it for Spatz. That's very nice.
Oh, that's very good.
You'll be hanging this here in your house. Won't that be nice? Artwork by SPATZ Donovan for Professor Irwin Corey. And take a look at that photograph right above me, right up here of the professor. Taken, I'd say, that picture over here.
That's a classic.
What was that taken in the 1950s, you would say, or the 1960s?
Yes, that was taken in Dallas, Texas, during the home show.
Very, very good. Now we're going to introduce a song sung by your son, Richard Corey, very talented musician and singer. And here he is. Let's hear it for Richard.
It doesn't get any better than this. Dynamite.
I will sing a song written by Randy Van Warmer, which was a big hit in 1979. Randy actually died at the age of 42, and he had his ashes deposited in space. So when the shuttle goes by, the commander is going, Randy! And Randy himself, I get this from Wikipedia, Randy thought that the song became such a big hit because John Sebastian played autoharp on it. So this is dedicated to John Sebastian and to Randy Van Warmer. You packed in the morning, I stared out the window and I struggled for something to say. You left in the rain without closing the door. I didn't stand in your way, 'cause I miss you more than I miss you before and now. Where I'll find comfort, God knows, 'cause you left me just when I needed you most. Now most every morning I stared out the window and I think about where you might be. I've written you letters that I'd like to send, if you would just send one to me. 'Cause I need you more than I need you before and now. Where I'll find comfort, God knows. 'Cause you left me just when I needed you most. Stared out the window and I struggled for something to say. You left in the rain without closing the door. I didn't stand in your way, 'cause I love you more than I love you before and now. Where I'll find comfort, God knows. 'Cause you left me just when I needed you most. You left me just when I needed you most.
Well, Irwin, I want to wish you continued success, continued good health, and thank you so much for being a guest on my show. Thank you, Irwin Corey. Thank you so much. And thank you, SPATZ.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Good.
We've got
got to understand, for you who don't understand English, il a 100 touché puis pour mon tutoie. Pour les mentus, mon s'entend, j'y sois la fait mon tutoie, maman. In other words, s'il a pas chance, ce monsieur fait mon là. Ah, pas contrôler, je suis I'd like to leave you with my philosophy. It is poignant and to the point. I don't know if it was Mayor Daley or Al Capone. He said, you can get more with a kind word and a gun than with just a kind word.
We go from Irwin Corey's home in New York City to the Park Place pool in Springfield, New Jersey. I hope you enjoyed the trip. Sandy and Mike, guess what I did a couple of weeks ago? I wrote a new song, the music and lyrics to a new song, and we're going to debut it tonight. The title is A Very Happy Love Song. It's a very happy love song on a very happy day. It's nice to meet a gal so sweet in every way. It's a very happy love song, and I really want to say, you're so supreme, you're like a dream in every way. It's a happy thing when I can sing and tell you how I feel. I'm never blue when I'm with you, you're my lucky deal. It's a very happy love song on a very happy day. You're so divine, won't you be mine in every way? It's a very happy love song on a very happy day. It's nice to meet a gal so sweet in every way. It's a very happy love song, and I really want to say, you're so supreme, you're like a dream in every way. It's a happy thing when I can sing and tell you how I feel. I'm never blue when I'm with you, you're my lucky deal. It's a very happy love song on a very happy day. You're so divine, won't you be mine in every way? You're so divine, won't you be mine in every way? And you heard it here first. I want to thank Sandy Renda, Mike Yanuzzi, our special guests via videotape, Irwin Corey, Richard Corey, and SPATZ Donovan, and our producer-director, Jerry Schoenthal. Let's hear it for everybody. And I do want to mention that my mother is in the audience, and my mother will be celebrating her birthday on July 27th. So happy birthday to my mother, Josette. We close off our show tonight with a song I wrote in the year 2000, dedicated to Robert Preon's Oasis in Woodbridge, New Jersey, where we taped our summer shows for 12 years. The song is entitled, "The Oasis is My Favorite Place." The Oasis is a place full of style and grace. It will bring a smile to everybody's face. You can go there any day. Hurry, don't delay. The Oasis, you'll agree, is the only place to be. The Oasis is my favorite place. In the summer or the spring, you can swim or sing. Come to the Oasis and you'll feel like a king. Please take my advice. Go there once or twice. The Oasis is divine. You'll see the neon sign. The Oasis is my favorite place. Oh yes, the Oasis is my favorite place. Thank you.